Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tek Torrent Podcast. I am Shinji, joined here today with me and Andrew. How you doing, Andrew?
What's going on, man?
How's it going? All right, guys, we got a fantastic show for you guys today. We're gonna be talking about all sorts of things, but one of the most interesting things is an EVGA 4090 has been found. Sorry, EVGA not 4090 next generation graphics has been found on eBay. And apparently,
I wonder what that is. What's that next gen graphics? That sounds really cool. I just have no idea what it could be.
I want that next gen graphics for sure.
Is it always next gen, or will it end up being last gen at some point, or is it perpetually next gen?
It's a card that auto updates itself.
Okay.
Anyways, so all that and here and more on the podcast tonight. First off, we're going to do a quick roll call, say hello to everyone that is here. Thank you for everyone that joins at the beginning of the podcast. A lot of people aren't usually here. They're all here at the end, so we do appreciate it. Got Fixation 500 in the house. Got Creating Space. Don't know who that douchebag is. Got Soul 7 and Tanes. How you doing, Tanes? Haven't seen you a little bit. Hope things have been well. So Andrew, I've been cleaning my garage.
Fascinating.
And it was so much work, but I finally got all the junk out of there and pushed everything against the walls and cleaned the floors. It is in much better shape than it was before.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. How much work was it really, though?
I'd say it was a solid 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Like a solid amount of that. Like actually
working. But you feel like you're pretty much done with it now?
I'd say I got maybe another hour or two because I need to move everything off a back shelf. My garage is only 16 feet deep, so my car literally doesn't fit in there lengthwise. If I have a shelf at the back, which is kind of funny because then you can't fit a minivan. You can't fit most modern cars in there.
Yeah, because that's not too big at all. That's really like the size of a parking space, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a Ford Pinto could probably. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah, it was built around the time the Pinto came out, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people weren't really parking their cars in garages. That was like a luxury. They probably just wanted more storage.
Yeah, it was basically like your junk drawer, but in IRL.
Yeah.
In the house. But yeah, so I got that cleaned out today. I found out my vacuum cleaner, my rigid vacuum cleaner, can also double as a leaf blower. I totally forgot about it, and I believe you guys actually pointed that out.
Yeah, well, we didn't know it had that crazy removable part, that it's like an actual leaf blower. Yeah,
so guys, this is actually pretty crazy. On my rigid vacuum, the motor housing is actually, so imagine what a leaf blower looks like the handle and everything. Imagine they took one of those and they just stitched it on top of the bucket, the receptacle for all the debris. It's literally that design. It comes on and off. It's pretty cool. So in chat, excuse me, in chat, Efren says, Fixation gonna roast Shinji and Andrew today. Maybe, if he's still here. I don't know. He's probably busy. Soul7 says, get a smart car. Dude, those things are... Okay, have you actually ever looked at crash statistics of smart cars?
They do well as long as they don't crash into any other cars.
No, it is amazing how rigid they are.
But it's still terrifying, just the lack of mass compared to anything else that it might encounter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so... The problem with the smart car is not that big, and you don't have much crumple zone. So what do? They made it really rigid. What does that mean? All that energy gets transferred to the occupants.
Well, do they make those anymore?
I don't think they make smart cars anymore. I think they're all just like Mini Cooper,
Yeah. I think smart cars are a few years out of production. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
smallest thing out there. Even Mini Coopers are pretty good size now, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think a Mini is much smaller than your car.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller, but it's also boxier, so it feels bigger on the inside. You're also sitting lower to the ground. I've actually met a driver of an EV Mini Cooper, and it was pretty interesting because it's essentially a Nissan Leaf. It only has 120 miles of range. It's got a really small battery. Andrew, do you want to read chat real quick?
Yes, we got affection. Shinji can build advanced London garage, transform one room in upper floor to garage, and install car lift.
Robotized.
I don't know what that word is. Yeah, automatic move car to that room slot. Andrew planning crashing car with 18-wheeler. Okay. It would be kind of cool if you could be like, for crash testing, be like, well, what happens if you crash this car into this car? Instead of just using like the generic sled that they use. Be like, what happens when you crash like an F-350 into a smart car?
Oh man, have you seen smart car crashes? Like the actual like stuff?
I don't know. Probably.
It's okay. So you know how when cars smash, they do this, right?
Yeah.
So when a smart car crashes, it does this.
Yeah.
It just bounces off. It's pretty funny. It's like the funniest thing because it's coming at it. It crashes and it just like instead of like going like this, it just like do it. It bounces.
You know,
away.
there was an Aston Martin that was based on a smart car.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally a smart car, but it had like Aston Martin badges and
rebadge.
It was rebadged like pretty much exclusively, but the interior was really done nice, like with quality leather on like every surface. But it's still kind of just a weird, quirky car.
That kind of reminds me of those Japanese cars. I think they're called K cars, like the letter K. I forget what. So basically, it's a car that's small, but it's nice. So it's like a luxurious small car. Because, you know, in America, the bigger the car, the more, better it tends to be. In Japan, small cars aren't necessarily cheaper. They're like really expensive, nice cars when they're small.
Yeah, and they got that whole culture of small cars over there. And, it's the modding community over there just, they kind of enjoy the cheap cars because they're going to put their own money into making it their own anyway. But, it's kind of weird how no matter where you are in the world, you kind of get different cars. Like Europe gets unique cars. America gets unique cars, which America exclusive cars are not really that great. The ones you can't get anywhere else, not that great. The European cars that we can't get here, some of those are really cool. Australia gets a whole bunch of cars that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's all like rear wheel drive, long wheelbase cars.
And not only that, like there's certain variants that companies make that are only available in those countries.
Right.
Speaking of Australia. Okay, I'm gonna get canceled here. I'm not sure. Remember that video where they it's basically a truck. It's like a Toyota truck, like a Land Cruiser truck.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is it? Like it's an armored truck. They're carrying money or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like a video of them. They're driving, and then people come up to them. They start shooting at them and stuff. Right. And this guy does like some like James Bond moves, and like freaking they pull over in front of them and try to shoot at them. He just like goes right at them, and he like pushes them out of the way. He does all this stuff. So that was a while ago, right? And since then they interviewed him and all that. So they took the actual truck that was involved in that incident and the actual driver, and they did like a walk around of the truck of like, because it was basically all an ad campaign for the company that made the truck.
Yeah.
Which was, of course it was, right? But it was so funny because he was like, I went out of the car and I went to go use toilet or something, and I went to go use the loo, and a bullet fell out of my holster, and I noticed it was a bullet that was jammed in the top of the car. It was like crazy. So at the end of the video, what they did was to prove that the car is still like, this is still a really good car. The owner of the company sat in the driver's seat, and then they shot at him in the window. The window that was already damaged.
That's never a good idea.
Dude, so the window already had like 3 rounds in it. They put another 2 in it.
Yeah.
Like
that's
an
AK. Yeah. That's not smart.
A 7 whatever millimeter and a 5.5 the AR round and a AK round. Put it right through the window. Of course it didn't go through. No, I wouldn't, dude. That window's already compromised, man. I'm good.
It's just, you don't do that. It's a bad idea. I remember there was like some news feature on like a stab-proof vest or something.
Oh my god!
And they had like the reporter put it on, and like the guy whose company it was or representing the company was like, "Yeah, I'll stab you in the back right now," and it like pierced through the vest because he found like a spot where it didn't have armor or something.
Oh, just that one spot between the stitches.
Yeah, and it's like, that's just a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, there's like what the bulletproof vest companies. They like,
Oh, yeah.
all right, now
And they're
shoot
like,
me.
yeah, demonstrated bulletproof vest.
You know why people don't do that anymore?
Because the people who were dumb enough to do that aren't around to do it anymore.
No, they're still around, but well, this is what people don't understand. When you get shot in the chest and it catches
you can like still break ribs and stuff.
Yeah, like, so basically they did it and he made this really loud then he was like clearly like not feeling well in pain, but he was like, you see, I'm fine. And there's like this massive bruise.
Yeah.
It turned out he broke a rib. That's what happened.
Yeah,
But
those
he, like,
vests are not there to so much like make you invincible. They're just there to save your life.
Yeah, they prevent penetration into your body, which is, pretty important.
Yeah.
But you'll break a rib. It's like getting Mike Tyson in the chest. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
Like if you get hit in the chest with the vest on, you're not gonna just stand there like Macho Man and shoot back. You're gonna fall over. You're gonna have problems.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's take a look at chat real quick. Efren says, Oh yeah, you already read that part. So regarding the lift thing, that reminds me of that. Remember that garage in like Dubai or something? You park in it like takes the car away, puts it into a little slot.
Well, I mean, don't they have that in America? What's that company that has like car vending machines?
Carvana.
Is it Carvana?
It's Carvana, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of our viewers, he's actually a moderator in Discord, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
When he went to go pick up his car, so basically in some locations you get this big coin and you put the coin in the machine and it'll vend your car out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool. I mean,
Can I just pick any car I want at that point?
I know, right? I'm assuming all the paperwork's done and all that.
Oh, yeah.
But when he went to go do it, apparently the machine wouldn't accept his vehicle because his vehicle was too big.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna like say it out loud, but I know what kind of car he has, and those are not that big, relatively speaking.
The car he got or the car he was getting rid of?
The car he has now.
That's okay. Yeah.
It's not a huge car. It's not a minivan. A minivan's bigger than that. A minivan's taller and longer than it. And they're like, yeah, we can't put it in the machine. It's too big. So, yeah, they do have the car vending machines.
Yeah.
Efren says Shinji definitely needs a keel
I think he's
car?
saying that's K car.
Oh, K car should fit in the garage. Yeah, if I had a K car, it would definitely fit, and I could like probably dance right next to it. Efren says, does Canada have unique cars, or everyone boring and get Tesla because Canadians rich? So Canada gets kind of screwed when it comes to cars. A lot of the cars with advanced features and stuff, they usually don't get it right away. For example, like my car, in America there's like, I don't know, 600,000 miles of roads that are mapped. In Canada it's like 10,000. It's a lot less. And Canada is a much bigger country than the United States. It's huge, right? So yeah, they kind of get the short end of the stick sometimes, and because of the Canadian rupee, prices are usually higher, or they're getting closer to US dollar these days. Let's see here. Oh yeah, by the way guys, make sure to hit that like button because we got 6 people watching and only 4 likes. Let's get that up to match the watching people. All right, let's do it. So Andrew, I did clean out my garage, and I noticed when I was cleaning out my garage, there was a bunch of wood that was eaten away by water and termites.
Yeah.
And it's all in the corners of the house. So now I'd be vacuuming the walls and stuff, and I poke a piece of wood and it just comes out. What while I was doing that, I was telling you I kept finding sawdust everywhere.
Right.
I was like, where the heck is all this sawdust coming? Well, I figured it out. There's termites in the garage, and I just don't understand how they got in there. But, I mean, they seem to be eating and chewing away at the wood, which is really annoying.
Yeah, so, I mean, they make kits for that, and they obviously have services to deal with that. So that's probably something worth looking into in the spring.
Yeah, actually, I need to call an exterminator for bees and stuff in the summer. There's like a giant underground hive that is allegedly it's vacant now. I'm just too scared to go over there and poke it. We'll read some, if you don't mind reading some chats, and we'll move on to our next subject.
Yeah, we got Northeast states are close to Canada, so Shinji could smuggle some nice cars there. Well, I think Canada overall gets most of the same cars we get in the United States. And they do get some that we don't get, a small number of cars they get access to. And there's a lot of cars that are like not DOT certified, but what they do is they get like a Canadian Leaf certification. So the import and export process is a little different between Canada and the US.
Mm-hmm.
So they get like the same car, but they might lack a certain feature, like you said. I know one of them was, for the longest time, well, in the United States, tire pressure monitoring systems were required on all new vehicles starting in 2006. And in Canada, that didn't happen until much, much later.
Yeah.
Like very recently. So technically you could get like the same car, but without TPMS, and it wouldn't have that module. So you couldn't import that same car from Canada, even though that same car would be available in the US. And I'm sure there are some limitations on the Canada side about what you can import to Canada, probably just to keep MSRPs up in Canada so they can't come down to the US and essentially buy cheaper cars and bring them up. But yeah, so we also have, so Shinji's house is like from that cartoon where termites eat whole wooden house.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're just gonna yeah, you're gonna be vacuuming your garage, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna like empty out your vacuum, and it's gonna be the entire garage in there.
and like the rest of my house is gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be boards and pieces of wood that's gonna need to be replaced for sure.
I mean, that's bound to happen with the age of the house. If it wasn't something like that, it would be something else. So yeah, it just needs a little fixing up. It's still pretty solid from what I understand. But it's good that you're taking the steps to improve it and reinforce it and whatever you need to do to keep it being a fully livable house now, rather than waiting any longer. Just, that's kind of stuff that doesn't get better with time.
No, and on top of that, it's like, I don't know. I thought I thought I was getting a worser house than I really did, but I actually feel like I lucked out. I it's kind of expensive because of the market, but with what's available on the market right now with the interest rates, I think I got really lucky.
You got in just in time.
I got in just in time before, like, I kind of was late, but it was not too late.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much cheaper that house could have been a year prior.
Yeah, so a year prior, it would have been like $50,000 less, but it wasn't on the market then. I checked.
That's not that significant.
Not really, no. When you, over the long term, maybe, but like, okay, for example, my same house right now, if I were to buy it with current market interest rates, which is around 7%, right? It's an extra $700 to $900 a month.
Yeah.
Same house. Yeah, that's just insane. That's just insane. I'm kind of glad I came into the market right now before it got out of control.
Yeah, once you figure out all the things it needs, you can start doing things that are just value adds and, do the things you want to do and definitely increase the value of that house because you have a lot of house there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like if everything was fixed up and everything was like great, I could definitely fit another 2 people in here, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Like, it's a 3-bedroom house. I could definitely fit another 3 people. There's a whole floor, the attic, where you could make a giant. You could put probably like a whole like house up there. make it into a miniature house, make its own stairs,
like an in-law or something.
Yeah, make it like an in-law apartment. It would like kitchen, shower, bathroom, everything. It's big enough for that.
Yeah,
it'd be that'd be like a high efficiency like small apartment.
I mean, I've seen those in that size space.
Yeah.
Literally attic apartments.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like them because what are people going to do? There's only one way to get in there.
Yeah, it's usually pretty open and like kind of like an open floor plan.
Yeah.
You just kind of separate a bedroom out and the rest is pretty open.
Yep. I usually see them as like with their own bathroom, and like the eat-in kitchen is like usually morphed into the living room.
Right.
And then the bedroom and the bathroom are usually separate. Like one wall or something like that. Okay, so one last thing I want to talk about before we move on to our subject of the night is my Tesla solar system. So guys, I did get my electric bill. It was not cheap. Anyone want to take a guess and put into live chat how much my electric bill was?
All right, let me throw in a guess.
Go ahead and put your guess in. I will tell you guys momentarily. While you guys are picking out your guess and pricing and all that, so the interest rates, like I said, have been going up, which has, increased the cost of my system essentially. It was going to be like $600 a month for the loan over 10 years. Now it's going to be like $800 a month because of the interest rates for the loan for 10 years, which, by the way, guys, it's still going to be cheaper than my electric bill in the wintertime. Okay, because my electric bill for the wintertime is becoming outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And I'm not like keeping this house like super warm. It's pretty warm, but it's not like burning hot or anything. The update on that right now is Tesla has finally received the inspection or whatever for my new panel. So now I'm in, again, the hurry up and wait. So I'm thinking maybe another 16 weeks before they contact me. 4 months, okay? So now we're talking March before we move forward at that point. But I'm really hoping that by this coming summer I get it installed because, as we all know, the summer months is when you make all those kilowatts. And I really want to make enough energy to have some credits for the winter. That way my electric bill in the winter is a lot lower. Let's take a look at chat for those that have guess on how much. I will show you guys in a moment. So we got Creating Space saying $800. Andrew, do you know that Creating Space douchebag? You know him at all? No?
No.
No.
I don't know.
Dude, he's a piece of work. He made this video about a CPU cooler. We'll get into it a little later, but he's a piece of work. He's a piece of work. Soul7 says $1,600. Ooh, someone's close. Tane says 12 space 00.
$12.
$12. Dude, I think the connection fee is more than that. So guys, drum roll, the actual price was, yep, that's right, folks, $1,630 and of course 36 cents. Yeah, that is how much my electric bill was last month.
That's rough, man. That's crazy.
Can you imagine paying that for 4 months straight?
What was your highest bill, give or take, before you bought that house?
So at my old house...
Yeah, I mean, you were still doing a good amount of electrical devices, but...
Oh, dude, at my old house, I was doing 3 kilowatt 24/7 like for years. But
yeah.
At my old house, now the electric prices did go up 150% this year, so keep that in mind. But at my old house, my highest bill that I ever got was $800.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, so that $1,630 is 5,000 kilowatts of electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1 month, I used 5,000 kilowatts. I've never used that many kilowatts before in my life. So
that's impressive.
It's a lot. Like think about this. Every kilowatt can get you up to 3 miles of EV range. I could drive almost to the other side of the United States and back. You know what I mean? It's a lot.
Moon.
Yeah, to the moon. 15,000 miles. Yeah, one way maybe.
So what's that work out to at like how much are you drawing right now, like kilowatt?
Oh, I can tell you right now.
Actual kilowatts.
So as of right this second, let me go check my meter here. Give me 1 second. So right now my computer, this desktop is not mining, so it's about 500 watt savings. So as of right this second, I'm pulling 3 kilowatt.
Okay.
Yeah. Soul7 says you also did not have an EV back then either. Let me tell you a little information on that. I thought it was that because I was like, oh, my car taking that much to charge. So I use something called the ChargePoint Home Flex. It's the device that allows you to charge your car, and it has extremely accurate record keeping.
Yeah.
So does this have anything doxing on it?
Yes. No, I don't know.
I don't think so. All right, so here's my charging over the last like couple of days, and you guys can see how much it's costing me, because my electricity is so expensive. Yep. So you can see right there, I've paid $70 for, like basically 8 days or whatever. A lot of it's been cut off because it's the whole month. It's the 10th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So of the whole month, that's how much it costs.
Yeah, man, I bet you can't wait to get that solar.
Dude.
So even with solar, you're looking to cut that roughly in half. So
you got to remember, the whole mining to heat my house is not going to be permanent. After we get the solar, we're going to do insulation. Then after that, we're going to get heat pumps, right?
Now, wait a second. No, never mind.
What was the question?
I was going to say, you could do like a crazy water cooling mining rig in the basement and literally plumb that through baseboard heat.
Yes, but that doesn't defeat the purpose. That defeats the purpose of saving energy.
Yeah, okay.
Also, mining rigs don't get hot enough.
Right.
So, the water... I used to know all these numbers, but basically the temperature differential...
Right.
The radiators will be just, like, warm to the touch. They wouldn't be hot enough.
Normally radiators are probably, like, 100 degrees or something.
100
or at least
something.
90.
Yeah, they're 100 something degrees.
But you'd be pushing them, like, 70, 75 probably.
Well, they'll be like, yeah, because you got to remember, water can carry a tremendous amount of energy, and the amount of BTUs that goes through that boiler, it's quite a bit. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, true.
But anyways, what I was getting at was, so once we get that solar in, the next step would be better insulation, and after that, we're gonna install heat pumps. And when we do that, that's probably about 2 years away from now. When we do that, the energy savings would be enormous. So I'll be on average making about, so it's a 13 kilowatt system. So on a very good day, and when it's really, really sunny and everything's good, 65 kilowatts a day. Out of that 65, during that time, I'll probably be using close to 30 to 40. So that extra credit I have will carry over into the winter when I'm using more energy. Right. So it'll effectively eliminate my bill in the summer, and it'll cut my bill in half to 3/4 in the winter, depending on how much credits I made in the summer. Because I'm not going to be mining when it's hot. I'm going to sell all these machines before it gets too hot.
Think so?
Well, okay, so I already have all these machines. If something were to happen where it was advantageous, yeah, I'll keep mining. I'll put them in the garage or something. But my plans are to stop and turn them off and put them in the attic or something. Because right now I'm mining for heat. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not mining for any other reason, actually, at the moment. So let's take a look at chat real quick. Tane says, "Cat put in the space." I don't understand. Was that in reference to the electric bill?
I'm not really sure. Tanes, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you mean by cat put in the space. I have no idea what that means.
I'm thinking like can't put in the space, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Maybe we could put a cat in space. It might die though. I think they need oxygen or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what happened. Tane's cat jumped on his keyboard while he was typing and that came out.
Oh, the cat put in the space. Got it.
Got it. The cat put in the space. Okay. That's what happened.
Oh, man.
I was like, huh? That's what happened. $12 space 00. Soul7 says, you also did not have an EV back then either. Yeah. So as you can see, that's what my so far it's only cost like $70. Raphael Hastel says, good times. How you doing, Raphael Hastel? I forget who you were. I remember you did. Are you Soul7's dad? Not Soul7. Are you Efren's dad or something like that? I gotta remember. I don't remember. Tane says, need to get a meter just for the EV and see if they have a lower EV power rate. Yes, I did look into that. A lot of states and municipalities will give you a different meter, or they'll give you a credit for charging your EV. Where I'm at in New Hampshire, no, they do not. It is very unfortunate because it's by utility company. There's 4 of them in New Hampshire, and almost all of them provide something. My utility company does not, and I cannot choose my utility company. I can only choose the supplier.
Right.
After I got that $1,600 electric bill, I did go online and change my electrical supplier, but I don't know if that's going to take effect until February. Because, okay, so get this. The base supply rate from Eversource will change to 35 cents a kilowatt in February. The base supply. So like double that, and that'll be my effective rate. So it's going to be like 55, almost 60 cents a kilowatt just for that month. Can you imagine? Like that is some of the most expensive electricity in America. That's really a lot. At that point, it's cheaper to just go to the really expensive charging station and charge than come home.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always an option.
Yeah, so like I actually thought about that. Like, don't charge my car at home. Go down to a place where I know there's a direct current fast charger. It's only 12 cents a kilowatt there. For me, at least. For me. I'll just plug in, every 4 days or whatever while I do some grocery shopping at the store.
And how long would that take?
So my car is a slow DC fast charger. So it'd take about an hour. Almost 2 hours.
So realistically, if you went like every day, you could do it for 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah, so no, that wouldn't. So the charging curve at the top end, it slows down to like nothing. So if I keep the car between 10% and 70%, that's like the fastest charging per time.
Right. I'm saying like if you kept it like, let's say around 50 was, you charged it every time it got down to 50, you charged it for 20 minutes. You do that every day, you could, keep going.
Yeah. The only problem is it's not on the way home, so I have to kind of go out of the way.
Yeah.
Which kind of defeats the whole purpose. It's like drive and go get your gas. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess this will be very familiar to people that drive gasoline cars. But yeah, there's one on the way home. That's kind of expensive though. It's 40 cents a kilowatt, which is, my house is still cheaper. It's also less convenient. All right, guys. So Andrew, do you have anything else on the Tesla Solar or anything like that?
No, man. I'm hoping the next time we talk about it, there's a real physical update.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
You gonna get a drone for this to kind of get some video of the install?
I am looking at the Maverick 3, I believe. Not the Light. Mavic?
Yeah.
Is it Mavic?
Yeah. I don't know what a Mavic is, but it's a Mavic.
It's not Maverick.
No.
Oops. Okay, the Mavic 3. I'm thinking about the Mavic 3. Maybe the Pro, because it has that cinema lens thingy. Mm-hmm. It's kind of expensive, but...
Yeah, I mean, the lenses are crazy. But anyway, that would be cool to have that kind of footage, because the way your house is set up, it would be really difficult to get any video of it without a drone.
Well, I can just get one of those 360 cameras, put on a giant selfie stick, and just walk around the house.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll look like a drone shot, especially after I stabilize it. Yeah, so I'm thinking about the Mavic 3. To be determined, though, because it's like $4,000.
Yeah.
Expensive.
On that, do you have any other use for it? Like, what would you use a drone for if you had it? Maybe some automotive stuff?
Automotive stuff for sure. Also side gigs. A lot of side gigs want drone footage nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to go get my drone license and all that. It's like a couple $100.
Right.
And then, I can do it. A lot of weddings want drone footage for some reason. And, I always tell them, then they don't find it at the very last minute when they're saying their vows and there's this giant buzzing in the background.
Right.
Hey, you're the ones that wanted it, so I tried telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do drones at weddings because of that reason. I've seen that too many times, and it's very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that part should be sterile. There should only be, like, photos and video. That's it. Yeah, so that type of stuff, and I might do some side gigs with it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so our main topic of the night. Andrew.
Yeah, so I put out a video on a heatsink. Oh no. EVGA, right?
We'll get to that. Actually, yeah, let's talk about that first. Actually.
What's up?
Andrew, so you told me that you would be releasing a video many weeks ago. What, 3 weeks ago now? So
I think it was 2.
Was it only 2? Okay, that's still
3.
Hey, that's better than me. I'm like 6 months behind. So why don't you tell me about the video you released, and why don't you tell us about your channel, actually?
Yeah, so the channel is Creating Space. And basically, I just came up with it to kind of do more video editing, video production stuff in my free time, just to kind of always be working on something.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's stuff that I'm already doing most of the time when it's computers or studio stuff that I'm kind of just doing for fun or hobby. And I figured, why don't I record it, try and make it a little more interesting and challenge myself in the scripting aspect and the filming aspect and the editing aspect. And, at worst case scenario, I'm just a little more practiced and ready to go when something comes up where I have to break out this skill set.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, going into it, never really did much like personal filmmaking for myself, and it's kind of hard to do when you don't have someone saying, "Oh, do this." When it's all up to you, you got to make all these decisions, and it's just you have this wide scope, and you have to narrow it down. So yeah, I mean, I filmed this video on a heatsink, and that was my first video that I released. I think it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out yesterday. So I'll drop a link to the channel in the description in a minute. But basically,
I'll drop it while you're talking about it.
All right. But yeah, I mean, the biggest obstacle for me was just getting the first video cut, getting it out. Getting it filmed, I was just like, let me just film a bunch and hopefully that's enough. And sure enough, when it came to editing, I was like, man, I wish I had a little bit more footage. I thought I pretty much covered my bases here, but you really can't have enough footage. It's not so much multiple takes as it is just unique shots, because I found myself just when it comes to like talking about different parts of the heat sink, and then I cut in a clip of it. I had too many clips that looked the same. And when I have that in the beginning of the video and the end of the video, and the video is only like 6 or 7 minutes long, then it feels a little repetitive. So that's just part of the journey, I guess, is, you kind of live and learn. And the next time I'm filming, I'm definitely going to put in more effort and take a little more time to get some better shots. But on the technical side, in the post-production, I was really struggling with audio, and you'll see that the audio in this video is not great.
No, it's not.
But ultimately, I said, man, I got to get this out, or else I'm never gonna. And I want to move on to my second and third projects, which are already shot. So I'm trying to get a video out every week. So we'll see if I can stick to that. It's a challenge for sure, but having the first one behind me, it definitely is a relief that I'm not getting caught up, because that one was just really slowing me down. And the problem was, what's the saying? Don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. And I was definitely.
Whoa! I don't like you accusing me of such things.
Yeah, so I just had to get it out. Good or bad, it's the first video on the channel, and I think the content itself, in like a from an informational standpoint, is still relevant. So I wasn't putting out this like video that I think no one would appreciate, but it definitely felt a little like less than perfect. But like I said, I just wanted to have it behind me so I could move on to another project and keep momentum going rather than getting stalled out on one video.
Exactly. And I don't know, I've worked with you for a year now, and
yeah,
you have a lot of creative input, and it's good to like get input from people that know a little bit about what you're supposed to be doing. Because sometimes when you're like doing it and you gotta make all the decisions, you kind of miss things. And it's nice to have like someone to like, hey, why don't you do it this way? Or hey, this. But when you don't have that person, it's kind of like a sandbox game where open world, you can just do whatever you want.
Anything creative, it's good to just bounce ideas and just have opposing viewpoints, because you can't see everything yourself. You just can't. And that's what the creative process is kind of talking with other people and each having ideas and maybe coming up with the unique idea that neither one would have on their own. So that's another thing, is just maybe just going back and forth with a couple people to be like, yeah, this is what my plan is before I actually do it, and get some input before I actually shoot everything, where it's already kind of like too late to get more done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I don't know. There's like a thing where it would take too much resources to go back and refilm it, or you already got rid of it, or you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of like, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you just got to remember for next time.
Yeah, and just I felt like I did kind of rush this project on the filming aspect, and it was I was building this computer for a friend of mine, so I don't have the parts anymore. I can't go back and reshoot. So if I had taken an extra hour, that computer's in Florida now. If I had taken an extra hour just to film some more shots, it would have given me that freedom to, just create a little bit better of a video and, take my time in the editing. Could have taken a week or two extra for that, for just an extra hour's time in the actual filming. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a race. No aspect of it is. So it's just kind of consistency is way more important than trying to get something out. Let's say I want to get something out Friday. That's great if I do, but if I don't, it's better to just, work on something that I'm proud of at the end of the day. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good video for your first video. It's just the audio could have used some work, but that's about it.
I'll throw in subtitles. I thought about honestly dubbing the whole thing, but I think it's still, if there were parts that like you really couldn't understand, I was just going to dub the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. Like, it's definitely better than like somebody with a super epic intro that then it goes to like a shaky camera.
Oh yeah.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, you get
I'm
really
looking
excited.
At this.
You're like, finally, I found a quality video, and then it cuts to like,
hi everyone.
They shot it on their flip phone.
I'm on their flip phone.
People have done it, man.
Dude, I kind of want to.
I've seen videos where someone probably shot it on like a Logitech webcam from like 2000. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's crazy.
You see all those videos about people using iPhones and stuff to make videos, right?
Yeah.
So I was like doing some research on that, and I realized something. Do you know how much these things cost?
What, a phone?
Yeah.
What's that, like $1,000?
This one's $1,200.
Yeah.
Sorry, this one's $1,000. The bigger one's $1,200. Okay, that is no longer cheap.
Right. Well, that's
So
the thing with phones is like they kind of get you into a payment plan where you're like, oh, that's not that much money. You never actually think about the price in total.
yeah, so I don't know, the video I want to make, I'm gonna shoot the whole thing on a Pixel 4 because they're like $200.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, the camera technology has not improved that much in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I think you had talked about you wanted to maybe do a video on this topic, but that like lighting is so much more important than the camera itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I mean, so I was actually gonna get a bunch of wax paper because that stuff is really cheap and you can buy a lot of it, like from the store for cooking, and just put it on like a C-stand. But then when I was doing that, I was like, wait, no one's gonna have a C-stand. A C-stand's like $100, maybe
You need
$150.
some clip lights from Home Depot for $10.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of hard to like think not as a photographer or a videographer and like come up like what is the closest thing to a C-stand that people would have? I don't know, like maybe a lamp or a workbench, and then just hold a rod between the two or something, tie it on. I mean,
yeah, if you were going to make a video on a topic like that, I would say maybe try and focus on one that's like how to set up, you know, get a good quality output with stuff you already have.
yeah,
And wax paper, people probably already have in their kitchen. A desk lamp or a clip lamp, people probably already have. And everyone has a phone in their pocket now. I mean, everyone has a camera in their pocket now as their phone.
Yeah. One thing I really realized about that type of stuff is most people don't go looking for the best way to do it. Let me rephrase that. They go for looking the best way to do it, but then they quickly realize they don't want to spend the money on stuff. So they look for the cheapest, most value-added way to do it. And doing that is really difficult. Like coming up with a softbox light that's under $5 with stuff you already have at your house, that's not easy. That takes a lot of thinking and effort. But after you make the video, it looks easy, right? So that's kind of the point. Anyways, do you have anything else on like content stuff before we move on to our main topic of the night?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so let me see here. Oh wow, we're already 47 minutes into the stream, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so yep, guys. If you guys didn't know already, EVGA is no longer making graphics cards. Okay, they are no longer making graphics cards. Did you guys hear me correctly? Yeah, EVGA, the company known for making cards, is no longer making them.
What, the graphics card company?
Yeah, the graphics card company.
Okay.
They are now primarily going to be moving forward as a PC components company. Power supplies, $5,000 cases, you know, minor things like that. That you know,
keyboards, mice,
mice, you know, mice that don't really work that well. Keyboards that are always on sale for some, you know, little things like that. Whoa, sorry, low blow there. Okay, but yesterday, and I'm reading from a online source here, but yesterday it appeared that the background of an EVGA and Intel live stream that was raising money for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital shortly after, the GPU was listed on auction with the proceeds going to St. Jude. So apparently EVGA and Intel did a live stream, and in the background of that, they had that GPU there. And allegedly that was all going to, you know, St. Jude's Children's Research. You know, what about the children, right? So before the listing disappeared this morning, as in like today, right? The price had risen to over $13,200, which I believe, Andrew, the last highest price was $35, something like that. $13.50.
I saw 13. I think I saw 13,500 last night.
Yeah.
When I had posted it in Discord while it was still live. But that was actually the second time they listed it. Apparently, the first time they listed it, there was an issue with the listing. They took it down and reposted. Mm-hmm. And I think the first time around, it was pushing over 14,000.
Oh my goodness. Well,
we should tell the people what this card was, by the way.
Oh, the next generation graphics.
Next generation graphics. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, everyone knows that. Anyway, so this next generation graphics card had over 6 days left to go, and it was already becoming the most expensive GPU ever sold.
Yeah.
So a little back history, guys. Just before NVIDIA unveiled the 40 series cards, EVGA announced that it was no longer going to do it to its partners and stuff, and then they gave their next generation graphics cards to YouTubers like Jay's 2 Cents and Gamers Nexus and a few others to check out the card.
I don't think there were any others. I think there are only like 3 cards in discussion.
There's a couple from what I read.
Okay.
There's like a few, and other people got them, but they weren't like, something happened. I'm not exactly sure, but those 2 are the big ones as far as I know. Like, I think Linus had a shot at one, but I don't really, that's all hearsay. It's all like forum posts and stuff, so I didn't really get too into that because that was a little bit too. Anyways, so this next generation graphics cards, in fact, Jay's 2 Cents actually got the 600 watt BIOS and tried to do stuff with it, and he did more overclocking and stuff like that. We all know what it is, right, guys? This next generation graphics card. Put it in the live chat if you think you know what it is. Anyways, so what, Andrew?
Yeah.
There were some rumors about the account that posted, right?
Okay.
It was like a brand new eBay account with no feedback or something like that.
Yeah, it was really kind of strange to see like such a rare item being posted on an eBay account with 0 feedback. And apparently that was EVGA directly, but it just looked kind of suspicious. But then again, I don't think EVGA sells directly on eBay personally. It just seemed weird that this account had essentially 0 credibility, but it was confirmed on the EVGA forums, at least by multiple moderators, that it was EVGA actually selling the card, and there was talk about it on social media, from content creators and stuff, basically vetting that that's the card that they're selling essentially for that charity auction, like you said. But yeah, just next generation graphics. Don't have any guesses in live chat, but it's oh wait, we got one. Soul 7 says EVGA 5090 Kingpin.
A 5090 Kingpin.
Yeah.
No. Soul 7, you see, there's one problem with that. It's not a 5090 Ti Ultra Supreme Edition Kingpin.
Yeah, I hope the naming gets a little more interesting. But yeah, no, these were using the same die that's on a 4090. I'm not going to call it a 4090, but we know what it is. And it was basically an adaptation or an evolution of the For the Win 3 cooler that we saw in the 3rd generation of cards. So it actually looked great, and probably the best looking would be 4090 of any card on the market right now. But yeah, there's only a handful in existence, and they are all pre-production, because as we said, EVGA never made a production version of the card.
They didn't even have a 4090 nameplate. It just said next generation graphics.
Yeah, I mean, they must have been working on that and out of contract with NVIDIA before the official naming was given to the AIBs. So with that being said, it's, unfortunately, the nature of eBay auctions is that you can bid on it without
any skin in the game.
Yeah, so 13-14 grand was what it was going for, but who knows if those people were legitimate bidders, buyers, willing to pay that if they were to win. But it's really a tough one to say what's this card worth when it's the last graphics card EVGA is making, essentially. I mean, that's got to be worth something for a collector, but
I don't think it's going to be the last card.
Well, it's definitely a milestone card.
Yeah.
And it marks a point in history, but I don't see BFG Technologies cards being worth a ton just because they're no longer.
Yeah.
Technology in itself doesn't really hold a ton of value because it's obsolete so quickly.
Unless it's retro, then that's, for some reason, that's desirable.
Yeah, retro.
I'm just saying.
I know. I see people buying old graphics cards from 2003, the best ones you could get in 2003. I don't fully understand what people do with them. I know they were super cool at the time, but I just don't want something like that. I don't need something like that on a shelf unless I get it for almost free.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, we actually have photos of this next generation graphics card. Would you guys like to see it? Of course you guys would like to see it. So we're going to go ahead and transition over. So these are actual photos, and I just want to point out, so this literally looks like it was set up for a listing. Doesn't it?
Man, that's a nice looking card.
That's a nice looking table.
I know. I like the table too.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
like,
that's a nice table. Look at
they
that
just built
fake
that
ring.
table to take these pictures.
I mean, look at how this thing is framed, right? Okay, so that's a picture from there, and you can see that's a standard PCIe slot. So this is a thick boys. It's pretty thick. And here's another picture from the other side. It is a For the Win 3, by the way, guys, but it does say next generation graphics. Yeah, so this is a thick, chunky boy. Look at that nice, beautiful, thick backplate, just like on the 3090 Ti that came out. It has the same type of backplate, and it even has the E-Lash.
Leash,
Yes, E-Leash slot. Here's another shot of it, the back. We can see the next generation graphics sticker right there. We got our, BIOS switches and stuff, and looks like we got so we got 2, and we got 6. Got 6 parts, and they're all, like, the smaller ones and the bigger ones. I forgot the name of these, the MMC or whatever. Allegedly, the smaller ones were better when the 3090s first came out. They're having all these issues. Allegedly. I don't really...
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was a significant thing. They could all run within spec after they released a BIOS update to make them run slower, so...
Whoa, that's not what they did. They didn't make them run slower.
No,
oh, yeah, of course not. No, it was an improvement in overall performance. Come on, what are they, Apple? So this has the same pass-through design and all that stuff. And if you guys ever picked up a 3090, Ti, which is probably the only type of card you can get your hands on that are similar to this, the backplate on these things are really nice. It's probably the best backplate I've ever seen. Like, you could probably shoot a 22. Okay, probably not, but I'm just saying it's really thick. It's really it's a good chunky boy. So let me go to this other shot, and now we got that money shot of the card.
Man, it's so nice looking with all those fins.
I think it looks nice.
And I'm sure the card is like full RGB rainbow, but I really like how it looks with no lights.
Yeah, I mean, this whole top part probably is RGB where the cutout is for the name. Right. But it is definitely a beautiful card, and I would not mind having this in my system. But of course, so the chances of me ever getting one of these is probably 0. But
yeah,
a few YouTubers got it and stuff like that. I'm gonna transition back to us. So yeah, guys, that's what the card looks like. Andrew, what do you think is going on at EVGA? I mean, you could clearly tell these pictures are kind of nicely taken. Probably a cell phone photo. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think the metadata.
Well, I think maybe they saw the reception that Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 Cents got when they posted videos on the cards that EVGA had given them. And apparently they both kind of requested those cards, and EVGA just obliged. But maybe they saw the reception and said, well, people are interested in these cards. Let's put one out there for a good cause.
Yes, I can confirm.
And if it was going to just sit on a shelf at EVGA, then I definitely kind of applaud that effort.
Yeah, and I can confirm all the metadata has been wiped from all the photos. There's no metadata on them at all to give me any inkling of anything. Not even the camera. It's all been wiped. So, yeah, I mean, it's a nice looking card, and it's sad we can't get it. I wish EVGA would make more cards. I personally think there's something to do with cryptocurrency and mining that EVGA made a bad gamble on, and they lost, so to speak. I think that's what personally happened, but of course, everyone has their own opinions. Andrew, do you want to catch up on chat?
Yeah, we got a bit. I think EVGA will come out with their own cards. They already have the factories and resources to do it, says Ben Has Wings. I think that's... Oh,
Ben has wings now? Sweet. Congratulations on your wings, by the way.
Yeah. And he's saying, I'm sure they can make their own. They already have the infrastructure to do it. Well, the thing is, like Affection is saying, based on what die, they've made it pretty clear they're not working with NVIDIA anymore.
Nope.
So the speculation is that they could be teaming up with Intel at some point. Now that Intel
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Intel's in the graphics game. And I think that would be great because Intel could probably benefit significantly from a partner that's been in that market for so long, kind of knows the ins and outs, and can help them find their footing. Because right now they're kind of scrambling. You know, they're not getting the best reception on their lineup of graphics cards, Intel.
Yeah, and it's... I don't know. So I think Intel's just going through growing pains, and just like Gamers Nexus said, we should not become their beta testers for a multi-billion-dollar company. They can figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you recall, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago, the first generation of AMD Ryzen CPUs, they were not super stable when they came out.
No.
They were kind of buggy, and it was months of BIOS updates until they kind of got a recommendation widespread by, you know, just consumer opinion. But yeah, I think Intel for a first generation of cards, if they can play games, great. I know they've had some issues where like they can't even play certain games, especially older titles. I think on older versions of DirectX in particular. And the discussion on their AV1 encoder, while it's very good and very efficient, it doesn't really have much of an application right now just because it's so new.
Exactly. And also they're on, like, I don't know, I think it's a good thing overall. So kind of like the way I see it is kind of like this. So you remember when Tesla first made their Model S, right? They had a lot of growing pains. It wasn't that well made. The body lines didn't match, all this stuff, right?
Hey, that hasn't changed.
It's gotten better.
Okay, it's gotten better.
Okay, so for example, they have this thing called the Giga Press, which basically is a mold for, you know, so you can make something that takes like 18 parts into one, essentially, right? They could rapidly make it. Kind of like that. They've advanced and they've gotten better over the years. And, you know, yes, you still have body panel gaps that don't match up and all this other stuff, but I think Intel's going through that, and I really hope one day that Intel becomes a viable option like AMD. Like, AMD has always been on the heels of NVIDIA, in my opinion, on most things, but value-wise, AMD's usually been pretty decent. So, I mean, I'm talking not just CPUs. I'm not just talking GPUs. I'm talking CPUs as well.
Yeah. So,
I really hope whatever this eBay listing is, because it's gone now, right?
Yeah, it's nowhere to be found. You can't find the old listing. And you had mentioned that maybe it was taken down. It's possible that it was taken down by eBay's like automatic flagging system, or that people just spammed the report button. Maybe they actually thought it was fake, or they just whatever.
I'm almost guarantee it was that.
But given that it's the weekend, we're probably not going to see it relisted for a couple of days, because it is being listed by a company. Someone needs to be at the office to do that.
Yeah. And what's his face? John from EVGA is probably not there right now.
Jacob,
my bad. Oof, I'm gonna get canceled here. Jacob from EVGA is probably not there right now. I'm sure Gamers Nexus and all the other big YouTubers are gonna make news about this when the time comes. Which is probably Monday. Let's take a look at chat real quick. Ben has wings, by the way. Congratulations on your wings. The problem with Intel Arc is that it sucks. Lol. Yeah, it does suck, especially right now. On some games, it doesn't even perform, just like Andrew said. IDK, if you've ever seen a teardown, but it has like 60 screws. Yes, I've seen it, and it doesn't seem very fun. I think it's just their growing pains of making a new platform, new Arc, new card. Compared to NVIDIA, now Intel's best card is about the same stats of a 3060, which in mind isn't good because it is not competitive to the new generation. Yes, and it's also more expensive than a 3060.
Yeah, and this current generation of cards, it seems like all of a sudden now we have this next generation of games that are actually finally utilizing the power. I mean, I've been playing a couple games with my 3090, and it's like, okay, I'm just used to going into the settings. Okay, 4K max.
Yeah, maxing everything out.
And I did that, and I'm getting like 35 frames per second now. I'm like, what?
All right,
So,
2K it is.
Yeah, 1080p, fine. 3090, good for 1080p. I thought it was supposed to be good for 8K. But yeah, the thing is with Intel is it's really hard to come into the market with no experience and create a high-end card. So they're coming out with a fairly low-end to mid-range card. And I think that's a good enough place to start. And that's a good place to kind of, work out the bugs, because if they had a high-end card that was over $1,000, like let's say it was competitive to a 4090 or something, and they had bugs, they'd be going bankrupt because they have so much invested in it and they can't sell any. But this is an opportunity to gain a little market share in a bigger market at that price point, work out the bugs, and hopefully build from that point into the next generation where they might have a wider spectrum of options.
Exactly. And you guys got to remember, this is Intel we're talking about. This isn't even AMD. Like, Intel has a huge market share and huge resources. They make chips, guys, or at least they engineer them, and then they get TSMC to make it or whatever. But they got a lot of resources and a huge engineering team, and they're building new plants and stuff in America, right? Like, I'm not too concerned about it. Like, to them, this is just like a social experiment that costs a few $1 billion. So what? If it doesn't work out...
I think they really did a good job and maybe even over-engineered the hardware aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Putting in this kind of state-of-the-art technology in some senses, not necessarily like frame rate specifically, but like encoders and decoders and stuff like that.
It's AV1, right?
Yeah, which you just don't see at that price point typically.
No.
And you're not seeing like cutting edge, but maybe they didn't not necessarily compromise on the resources for the software, BIOS, driver side, but they're not used to doing that except for integrated graphics. So they probably didn't have the biggest team in the world on the software side. So yeah, I don't necessarily blame them for wanting to get this product out at this time, because if they waited any longer, it would be obsolete. But yeah, I'm just hoping that they can get their stuff together and have this basically be a competitive and functional card in the next month or so.
Can you... Okay, I'm going to put a thought out there. I remember being in line in the freezing cold almost a year ago in February, okay? For the 3060 launch.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No, I think that was 2 years ago. No?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay, 2 years
not this
ago.
February, last February. Okay?
Right, okay.
I remember that. Imagine at that time, we also received Intel Arc.
Yeah.
Imagine if it launched at the same time.
Yeah, Intel's done some things that I don't really like, and that's on the CPU side of kind of controlling the market.
You can't you can't use certain features if your motherboard's too cheap.
Yeah, stuff like that, and also just because they were in some ways better than AMD, kind of just telling the consumers what they can and can't do, setting the price. Even like if they were the only game in town, you can bet their CPUs would be unaffordable, but you'd have to pay them.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think in the past few years, like you're talking about the 3060 launch, I think they've been kind of tied up just trying to keep up with AMD and keep pace there, because they put so much slack in the line on their own end that they had to pull it up once AMD said, okay, we're taking the lead for now.
Yeah. And
so they kind of had their hands full on the CPU side,
Yeah, exactly. I really do think that it's a good thing overall. And I just want to read chat real quick. Soul7 says, let's do the time warp thing. Efren says, one-way ticket only. Soul7 again. By the way, Soul7, thank you for being a loyal follower. If you guys don't know, that is why he has that awesome purple fish next to his name. That is a YouTube membership, and we appreciate you very much, by the way. He says, to go forward, you must go backward. That's when we were talking about Intel. Ben Has Wings says, thanks, Steve. I love that. What was that? Was that the CEO of AMD? Thanks, Steve, or something like that. I want to get like all my YouTuber friends to just say thanks, Shinji, or something like that, but it just doesn't have the right ring to it. Y2K Anonymous, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining the live stream. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Well, what's up, everyone? Yes, what is up, man? Thanks for joining. We're actually at the tail end of it, but we'll keep going depending on how things go. Yeah, so to wrap things up on that, we're basically talking about EVGA's next-gen graphics card, for those of you that are joining us just now. And we actually showed pictures of it earlier. I'll actually go through the pictures again so we can talk about it while we're looking at it. You can see there's the card itself. These are actual pictures from the listing, guys. I unfortunately did not get a chance to see it before it disappeared, but these are the actual pictures. And as you can see, they're not, they're not no poo-poo pictures. Someone used good lighting. It probably had some nice fluorescence and that's a nice table, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, it's definitely a nice card there too.
I just want to know I
wonder who got tasked with this though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to know what's this. What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, so someone got tasked with this. Probably Jacob.
It does kind of look like it was just like kind of in the break room.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This doesn't look like a studio set or anything. It looks like, okay, let's just clear the break room to get the cookies off of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's how much my electric bill, guys, was for those of you that are just joining us.
Could almost get a 4090 for that.
Dude, yes.
That's sad.
Yes. Isn't that stupid? That's horrible.
How bad is it when you have to pay your electric company in graphics cards?
Oh man, no, I don't want to do that. By the way, Ben has wings. I haven't seen you before, so go ahead and join our Discord. It's linked in the description below. We'd love to keep chatting with you, man. In chat, Ben has wings says, lol, no, it was Intel. Y2K Anonymous says, just go on. Playing Northgard custom game. What? You play Northgard? Okay, Y2K Anonymous, please tag me in Discord. In my Discord, linked in the description. Message me, do something, because I love that game. It is one of my favorite games. I love Northgard. Okay, I'm actually going to do a game right after this, so if anyone wants to join after this live stream. Custom game settings are easy. Just want a chill game that I will win. Yes, Y2K Anonymous, you got my attention now. Please let us know in my Discord, linked in the description.
We should talk about next week.
Oh, that's right. Yes, let's talk about that before we end it. Yeah. So guys, next week, with the holidays coming up and stuff, we actually have a special live stream planned. We're gonna have some activities. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Andrew, so I was thinking, where's my notes here? Because I just totally forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, so did I.
Dang it. Okay, I'll just use my memory because I closed my notes. So basically, what we were thinking about doing is having some kind of overclocking competition for fun, okay? And then we're going to do a gaming thing where I pick one and Andrew picks one, and maybe a movie. It's going to be quite a long stream, and we want you all to have fun. And who knows, there might be some incentives for watching. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, so, I mean, this stream's already an hour 15 in. Yeah, we're probably looking at a 2-3 hour live stream for next week, if all goes according to plan. And basically, it's just a friendly competition between me and Shinji. And the idea came about that we both have 3090s. Why don't we see
Mine's better, of course.
Who can do the best in like an overclocking competition? And 3D Mark actually has a new benchmark out that is supposed to be like next generation of gaming in terms of visuals. So we're probably going to be using that, and just to make it a little more interesting, we're both going to pick a game for us to play in competition, and it's going to be best 2 out of 3 wins, and we'll see what happens from there. But definitely looking forward to the overclocking aspect, just because I might be down in a game that you pick, but I can redeem myself, I think, in tuning a 3090. We'll see if you can keep up.
Well, I mean, that Port Royal, sorry, the what was it, the 3D Mark, right?
3D Mark, yeah.
So it's got some next gen stuff on it, right?
Yeah, I forget the name of the new benchmark, but it's like the successor to Port Royal. So it's heavily ray traced.
Oh,
and,
so it's the successor to that. So it's going to be like Port Royal Extreme or something.
Yeah, it's going to look crazy.
Okay, that's awesome because I might want to use my next gen EVGA graphics card.
Yeah, let's see if you get it in time.
Yeah, I got one on. I already, the reason why the listing's gone is because I already bought it.
You made a private offer, yeah.
I made a private offer, and we spoke off platform, so Jacob was pretty cool with it. It was all right. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Well, I guess you guys will have to get subscribed and watch because that video may never come out. Let's take a look at chat real quick, and we'll go into the ending portion of the stream. Let's see. Y2K Anonymous says, I suck against human players. Look, we all suck in real life. It's a hard game to play, especially on extreme. I've been playing the first part of a conquest for almost a month. I've been losing every time. I don't know. I'm insane. Ben Has Wings will do. I will join when I get to my computer. Yes, Ben Has Wings. Please join our Discord, man. We would love to see you there. Y2K Anonymous sounds fun. Maybe I'll join and suck with others. Yes, please join. It is one of my favorite games, honestly. Like how Linus likes Anno, I love Northgard.
Yeah, and just throwing it out there for next week. The games we pick are not yet determined, but we will be posting in the Discord once we know. And if you guys wanted to join the game that we're in, you're more than welcome to. We'll definitely post the details in the Discord before the stream and obviously go over it during the live stream.
Yes, exactly. Tane says y'all got better 3090s than me. Well,
yeah, Tane's kind of got a dud from what I recall.
Yeah, didn't he get like a thermal take something?
No, thermal take? I don't know. I forget. He's got the Gigabyte water card.
That's right, the Aorus, and like it's like I don't know, he got a bad chip. He got a bad bin. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And I think the Gigabyte cards had a super low power limit or something. Like you couldn't get much more out of it. But I think it
wasn't a low power limit, Andrew. It was a stability overclock.
Yeah. Well, I had a bad Founders Edition, my first 3090, and it would only do plus 600 on the memory.
Dude, that
when
sucks.
Literally every other one would do like plus 1200.
Yeah. Y2K Anonymous says Zotac 3090 was able to do hash on ETH at 125 solidly. Dude, remember when we had those kingpins?
What, you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a kingpin, but yeah.
131.
131, yeah.
Solid.
Those were fun cards.
Dude, I miss them. I really do. I sold them for a really good price.
I mean, you don't mind not having them, but you miss them.
Well, that computer cost $10,000 to build, and
maybe you can scoop one up for like $700.
So the guy
I don't think it's worth investing in.
The guy that I sold it to probably isn't going to watch this ever, but yeah, I sold him to him for a little bit above MSRP, of original MSRP. So I got really lucky.
I did the same thing. I had a Kingpin hybrid, and maybe a month or two before the market tanked, I got over MSRP.
Yeah, like if I would have held on to those a month or two longer, man, I would have been in some deep trouble. Like,
yeah,
that would have
been tough to flip.
Yeah, like I sold my I sold 3/4 of my GPUs at or below, a little bit below MSRP to try to make the move, right? Like okay, you know what? All of these at once, I'll give you this price for all of them, Because I had like 14 3090s. I had a lot of I had a lot of 3090s, including the kingpins.
Yeah.
Soul7 says Dukem Nukem. Oh wait, isn't that like Serious Sam?
Duke Nukem. I mean, I'd say it's probably similar, but not quite. I think Serious Sam's a little crazier.
It is. Tane says, yeah, you can't really up the PL to high or the clocks, but it does stay cooled, being water cooled. LOL. Yes. I think doesn't your Gigabyte also have like that leak detector thing? Like on the ports, there's like a little thing that detects water or something like that. Pretty cool. It's nice. I mean, the Aorus Gigabyte stuff seems to be pretty good. The motherboard I'm using right now, by the way, I did build this computer that I'm using right now in a video. It's just missing the Kingpin cards. Okay, that is linked in. That's not linked. If one of our mods want to go to my channel and look for the video where I built this computer, and just link it in the description or live chat, that would really be appreciated. But yeah, it's a very good computer. It's a very good motherboard, rather. The PCB, when you pick up a Aorus Gigabyte X570 PCB, the motherboard, it's got some weight to it. It's heavy. It's nice.
Yeah, I've got the new system I built. It's got a B650M Aorus.
B650. Yeah, like B chips aren't bad anymore. B used to stand for business, but
well, it's micro ATX. It's a micro ATX build, so the advantages of X570 were more in the way of like more PCI Gen 5, PCI Express Gen 5 slots and stuff. And with micro ATX, you just don't have that many slots to begin with. And I didn't need some crazy VRM setup to do some crazy overclocking. I just want a stable system, and the price was right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got a pretty decent deal on it, like free RAM and everything, right?
Yeah, Micro Center had, you get $20 off for a CPU and motherboard bundle, and it was Black Friday week, so a free 32 gig kit of DDR5. So yeah, I'm really happy with the price. It's I don't think I could replicate that deal now.
Yeah, I mean, especially like with inflation, we know that electronics are price go down, but prices on graphics cards, although they've crashed, they haven't really come down on the new stuff.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason I am not partaking with the 4090. I just don't believe in it. Not right now.
The performance jump is significant and some nice new features, but I'm definitely going to hold out another generation.
Yeah, like, so honestly, guys, if the 4090 and all that was great, but my 3090 hasn't given me any problems. It runs cool. I don't have any issues with it. I haven't reached its limits. I don't really... Why would I upgrade? I mean, you could do it just to have the latest thing, but you're not going to take advantage of that kind of performance. Yeah, I mean, keeping up with the Joneses is very expensive. And, I just bought a house, cashed out all my currencies and stuff. Don't have that kind of flexibility anymore. So, but if it's channel related, it could be a little fun.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be where a card could come out. You'd be like, oh, I'll pick one up used in 6 months. It doesn't work that way anymore.
No, it does not. Something interesting. Oh, let's take a look at chat real quick. Soul7 says Dukem Nukem's voice. A voice? Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah. Voice of Beerus from Dragon Ball Super. A little nugget of info there. Yeah, I think the voice actor was actually at Kineticon, if I recall correctly. Tane says water sensors around the ports, so if it starts to leak, the card will blink red. Yeah, I remember you were like having some issues with that, and it would like turn off the computer or something. Ben As Wing says, TekShinji, in my opinion, I think GPUs still have a little way to go down. Yes, I don't think we're at the bottom yet. I bought a whole bunch of cards. I have 32 cards right now. And I got them all for like less than half of MSRP.
It's a lot of cards.
Yeah, I sold all my 3090s and all that, and I spent 25% of that to buy all these cards. So I have 12 6600s non-XT from AMD. I have 7 6600 XTs. I have 10 3070s. I have 7 6800 XTs. And I have 1 3090 and a few other small cards. Like I have 3 3060 Ti's and stuff. So I got like about 35, 36 cards right now. One of them is just sitting there doing nothing. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions for us or the live stream or anything, please let us know in live chat. Otherwise, we're going to go into the ending portion, and I'll probably log on and play some Northgard with y'all if you are going to be around.
I might have to try the Fortnite Unreal Engine 5.1 update.
Unreal Engine.
Also, I guess NVIDIA released a version. One of the selling points for NVIDIA's latest generation of graphics or something, they promoted, I think it's gaming like Redux or Remix or something, where you take an old game and you make it look good again, essentially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they remaster it.
Yeah, they essentially remastered Portal, with RTX.
Whoa.
And it just like it's not the most stable game in the world. I didn't really get into it because every time you like change a setting, it crashes. But maybe I'll fire that up tonight.
Yeah. So probably not related, but I used to play a lot of Minecraft, and Minecraft ray traced. They should make it official. Like it is that it is. You go from something that looks, quite frankly, like out of the 90s,
yeah,
to something that looks amazing, and it's really good. I use it all. I only play ray traced Minecraft, even though it kills my card, and I'm drawing like 500, 600 watts playing it. It just looks so good, so good.
Yep.
Looking at the chat real quick, Ben has wings. I got about 12 cards, but I'm still waiting a bit more before I go all in. I would say the best time would be February, because the holidays are over, big money spending stops, things start slowing down, people start hunkering down, and people stop spending money. I think that's when the card prices will hit rock bottom. Yeah, I'm actually giving an offer to someone 103070s for $310 each. So
you're giving that offer?
I gave that offer to someone, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. Ben
That's
has
not bad.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. It's almost $100 less than what you pay on eBay per card.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
good.
crazy.
And on top of that, you get them right away. There's no scams. Everything works.
That's a good card if you don't have one, for sure.
3070s, yes.
Yeah.
Ben has wings says, "Are you going to stream playing?" Yes, I'll be streaming in Discord. I haven't set up Twitch and all that stuff yet. I will be streaming in Discord.
You ever think to stream to YouTube?
So I don't think it's a bad idea with my channel, but I've been told a lot that doing that could negatively hurt the channel.
Just kind of something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it's not something I usually do on this channel, like ever. So I think that might cause issue. I don't really, from what I've read, what I've talked to other YouTubers that are much bigger than me, they tell me it's better to make a separate channel and tell people to go there. But I'm just like, okay, so if I stream to my channel with the game, me playing a game, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Oh, yeah, the algorithm will get messed up.
If you did this format where you're kind of talking to, I don't know, it's not that different, but whatever. I don't think it matters much either way at this point. Yeah,
I mean, at this point, with the way where my channel's at right now, I don't really think it's a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe when we're at like 100K or something.
Yeah.
Y2K Anonymous, TekShinji. Some ordinary gamer did RT on Minecraft with VR. Whoa, that's cool. Ben Has Wings says, the only game I'm willing to play is RuneScape. What? Come on, you should play some Northgard with us. CPP Tech, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. You are at the end, but thank you for joining. I grew while streaming on YouTube. You grew while you streaming on... Oh, are you like really young or something? Soul7 says, moderator fail. Can't find video. Oh, sorry to hear that you can't find it. Andrew, you want to just talk about a few things? Oh, you want to go look? Yeah.
I'll look for it. Yeah, it's the one where you build the water cooling PC.
Yeah, it's literally...
I mean, your main system.
My main system, yeah. I think it's the one where it says big
radiator?
big eggplant cooling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the one where I'm like this by the radiator. So Ben Has Wings, I don't think it's a big deal. Oh yeah, the whole streaming to YouTube. So the thing is, the algorithm is very touchy, and it's alleged. So basically, the algorithm has ultimate control, and these are the things that people have said are good or bad. I don't really know, and I'm not really that big of a YouTuber to actually know that. Come on, guys. Like, I may have 10,000 subs, but realistically, I say maybe 500 of them actually watch my videos. The rest of them aren't real, or they never... So, get this. There's a video on my channel that'll play automatically when you go visit it. It has less views than how many subs I have, so that's physically impossible. That means
you can click subscribe on a video page.
What I'm trying to say is they've never looked at my videos on my channel.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you don't have to click your channel page to subscribe.
I get that, but like it's kind of like saying, Oh, I buy tickets for the bus, but I never hand it. I don't know. I don't know an analogy that'll make sense.
I mean, I'll just keep going with devil's advocate. Like for me, I don't ever go to a channel page. If I get a video and I'm like, okay, that was pretty good, and then the channel gets recommended to me again, and I see another video from them, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty good, and then it happens again like a week later, I'm like, okay, they make good content consistently. I'm gonna click subscribe right now.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't disagree with that. I'm the same way. Like, if it keeps getting recommended, I'm like, oh wow, you know what? I wanna make sure the algorithm's happy. So if they keep recommending me, I will subscribe. That way, you know, they don't punish me.
We got some more people in chat.
Yeah, we got some more people in chat. CPP Tech says it's a conspiracy. Yes, it is definitely a conspiracy, man. Like, I did some A and B testing on thumbnails. I won't talk about it publicly on stream. You could ask me about it on Discord or whatever. It is astonishing what certain aspects of a thumbnail change the amount of clicks it gets. Oh, hey, Cedric is here. ABMS Production. Cedric, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining the live stream. Haven't seen you on a live stream in a long time. He says, hello, beautiful people. Love, I can guarantee I'm real. Are you? Are you, though? Are you? Yes, I'm pretty sure they're real. Actually, they follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that other stuff, so we talk a lot outside of here. CPP Tech says, bots, lol. Y2K Anonymous, Drew, the algo controlled you. Yes, it did. It did definitely control me. CPP Tech says, I got at the end, rewind and rewatch. Hope y'all having a beautiful evening. Yeah. So like the first 47 minutes, we talk about house stuff and Tesla and stuff. Right around there, we start talking about EVGA stuff. And then about 20-30 minutes after that, we start talking about what we're talking about now. ABMS Productions, Y2K knows, long time no see, brother. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, man. The thumbnail definitely mattered big time. I would love to. Yes, it matters a lot. Here we go. Susan from YouTube is getting exposed. I don't even know what that means. Do you know what that means, Andrew?
That must be a channel. I don't know. What? I don't know.
I have no idea.
It seems odd with no context.
Yeah, Ben has wings. Let me know in live chat what that means. I have no idea. I literally have no idea what that's about. CPP Tech says, I would love to discuss the thumbnail theory later. Definitely sounds like I missed a good stream. I love all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go rewind it and watch it, that's totally fine. You have no obligation, but I would definitely appreciate it because the watch hours definitely help toward the channel. Really appreciate it.
And try and show up for next week because we got a fun one planned.
Yes, so for those of you that are just joining us now, next week's stream is going to be a long one, so make sure you get, your cozy and all that stuff and get into your bed and be comfortable. But we're going to do like some games, right? Andrew's going to pick a game. I'm going to pick a game. We're going to do some competitive overclocking. And a third one we haven't really figured out yet, but we're going to do something. It's going to be a best out of 3. So Susan is the CEO of YouTube. Susan Wojcicki? I don't know how to pronounce that. Do you know how to pronounce that?
I'm not even gonna try.
Wojcicki. That sounds hard. Oh, hey, CPP Tech coming in with the $9.99 super chat. Love y'all. Enjoy the holidays. CPP Tech, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, bro. Because of that, I can keep making videos. Really it is. By the way, Andrew, you notice in CPPC Tech, his tech is spelt just like my tech?
Yeah, did you copy him?
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so real quick. I scoured YouTube for my name before I started, and I actually did find it. So, you know why I picked tech? So, for those of you that don't know, longtime followers of the channel would know, but if you're new or whatever, so tech is actually a derivative. So, you know how we have TECH in English? Technology, tech, right?
Right.
So, in Norwegian, the language in Norwegian, I happen to really like Norwegian opera, if it's a weird thing. In Norwegian, you say technology as teknologi, okay? So it's technology. I might be putting a weird accent on, but that's how you say it in Norwegian. And the derivative in Norwegian is TEK. So tech. Same pronunciation almost. And that is where the name of the channel comes from.
Okay.
I'm gonna read this thing from ABMS, then we'll probably go ahead and go to the very end of the stream here. ABMS says, Cedric says, sorry, I slowed down a bit. YouTube busy with my new mining pool adventures. Oh, that's interesting. Learning quite a lot lately. It's interesting to be on that side of mining. Yes, it is definitely a different thing. I stepped my toe in it slightly. All right. Yep. CPP Tech. Yes. Great minds think alike. Yeah. Very interesting. Yep. All right. Yep. Soul 7. Thank you very much for that. Oh, you're adding me for something. What's going on? Am I missing something? Let me just check. I do not see anything. I don't know what you're adding me, but I'm assuming it's for a reason. I don't see anything. TekShinji's Korean accent is Norwegian. Yes, my Korean accent is Norwegian. I actually can't do an Asian accent for the life of me. I know it's funny. Because I'm American. I've been too Americanized. All right, guys. So that is going to be the end of this stream. We've been going on a long time. This has been going on like over an hour and 30 minutes. I'll be in Discord streaming and stuff probably in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to go down and get a snack. Be playing some Northgard or some other games. Andrew might or might not be there. He's probably going to be busy.
No, I'll probably be there playing something else.
Yeah. So if you guys want to join us in the Discord, if someone wants to go ahead and link that in live chat, and it is also linked in the description below. Go ahead and join the TekShinji community Discord. We will see you all there. Thank you to everyone that joined this week.
Up to 10 watchers right now.
10, yeah, you see, that's funny. They all come at the end, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's weird how they know. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a 45-minute stream or an hour and 45. It's always the last like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's maybe like that's how YouTube recommends it. I don't really know, but
yeah.
Anyways, Andrew, do you have anything else before we go into the ending?
Nope, I'm good to go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you to everyone that joined for this episode this week. This has been a lovely episode number 29. We'll see you same bad time, same bad channel next week. Thank you everyone for joining. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.